three of the most dramatic words in the Torah. How could I take Binyamin away from Yaakov Avinu? Yehuda says, "V'nafshay kshura b'nafshay." His soul is bound up with his soul. My father's soul is connected to Binyamin, to his youngest son, so deeply. How could I separate them? V'nafshay kshura b'nafshay. Baal Turim here really gives a revelation. I'm not one to talk much about parenting. That's not my field of expertise. But the Baal Turim says this, and really he says the fundamental of everything that the parents really have to know and have to do. And you can save a lot of money on lectures and seminars and classes if you learn this Baal Turim. The Baal Turim uses a technique called Messiah. If there's a word that appears in Tanakh infrequently, once or twice, or only here, only there, so the Baal Turim connects the two words, and he says, if this word is here and this word is there, elsewhere, obviously it's a word that doesn't appear very often, each one indicates something about the other. So he says there's only one other place where we see the word kashura in Tanakh, where the pasuk says, "Ivelos kashura b'leiv nar." The foolishness is bound up in the heart of a soul. That a child is drawn, he has an inclination to act stupid, right? Kids act silly, kids act dumb. That's just the nature of how kids are. So it says kashura over there, and it says kashura over here. Like the Baal Turim, that's where you see the same thing. The Baal Turim explains it. I heard from my Rebbe, perhaps the way you could understand this, maybe a little differently, the connection that Baal Turim is making here, through this technique called Messiah. Ivel's kshura b'leiv nar means that a child is born with the Yetzer Hara. A kid has an inclination, is naturally drawn and predisposed to do silly things. So the Yetzer Tov comes in at the Bar Mitzvah, really has legitimate taina. He says, there's somebody here. The Yetzer Hara is already here. The Yetzer Hara takes possession. The Yetzer Hara has already made himself at home. It's like somebody gives you a new apartment, and you move into your new apartment the first day, and somebody's on the couch, a squatter. He says, "I'm already here." That's what the Yetzer Tov might feel like. What's the answer to that? The answer to that, to Ivel's kashura b'leiv nar, the foolishness with a person's natural inclination, the answer to that is nafshay kshura b'nafshay. Connect with your children in a way that even though there's no Yetzer Tov yet, they're already yours. They're not the Yetzer Haras, because there's something stronger than the Yetzer Hara. There's something that was there before the Yetzer Hara. From the moment a child is born, the child knows who its mother is, you're already there. So you become the squatter. You stake claim to this child's heart. Be so connected and be so close with him that you're there first. Nafshay kashur b'nafshay, the Baal Turim is saying, can combat, can encounter, can push away, could triumph over Ivel Shur B'leiv Nar. I already said that there was an article in one of the magazines, and it was saying that it's very hard to raise kids today, because it said it used to be for a kid to leave the system or to go off Rahman al-Islam took a lot of courage, took a lot of fortitude. You're leaving, you're turning your back on everybody. And the writer was saying that now it's not so hard. And he gave a mashal. He said, sometimes you had a chasna, and somebody says, "Do you want to daven ma'ariv? We're making a minyan." So you say, "No, not really. I'm here. I'm enjoying the main course. I'm good. Thank you." He says, "But if you're walking through the lobby and you see a minyan for ma'ariv starting, and there's 50 people there, it's inevitable that you're going to join, because you're seeing so many people are doing this. So I'm just going to do it." Suddenly, your brain is telling you better join this minyan, because you're going to be left out if you don't daven, even though a minute ago you didn't want to daven when they asked you to come join the minyan. Think about it, and everyone knows it's true. So he was saying it used to be for a child to turn their back on their parents, on the system, on yeshiva, on a rabbi, on a moral, on a teacher, on a counselor. It took a certain guts. It was saying, "I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm giving up my main course of daven ma'ariv." Now it's happening all around you, so it takes strength to stay back. And it seemed like a very strong argument. So I told it to my rabbi. I said, "What do you think of this argument?" So he said, "It's silly." I said, "Why?" His example of ma'ariv is very good. He says, because there's one person who doesn't hear. This whole thing doesn't speak to him. Not the person that says, "Do you want to daven ma'ariv?" and not the minyan for ma'ariv that's taking place. Who is that? Someone who already daven ma'ariv. He doesn't even hear this conversation because he already daven ma'ariv. He's checked out of the whole thing. Raise your children in a way that not this and not this speaks to them. They know exactly where they are. They're good. They daven ma'ariv already. They're not looking for a ma'ariv. They have everything they need from their parents in their homes. Nafshay kashura b'nafshay is the biggest antidote and the biggest preemptive strike against Ivel's kashura b'leiv nar. Good Shabbos.